Hey, ladies and gents, good people everywhere. Welcome back to another album review at Take Clark Music and Tate's Garage. I myself am Tate Clark, and we are listening today to the new Marcus King album entitled Youngblood. But before we get into it, like we always say about this time, pound that subscribe button, like, comment below, swing by the Patreon page, hit the Etsy store, and all that good stuff. You support the channel. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all the cool people that have commented, and to all the trolls out there. Head on down the tracks. It happens. It's cool. Keyboard warriors are fun. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about Marcus King's new album entitled Youngblood. This was released. When was this released? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Caught me. Caught me August 26, 2022. Sorry, folks. Usually I have my notes right in front of me. It did debut as #1 on the Billboard Blues album charts and was produced by the Black Keys maestro, Mr. Dan Auerbach. So, who is Marcus King, you may ask? Let's talk about Marcus King for just a minute. Born in Greenville, South Carolina, or South Kakalaki as I like to call it, this cat is a wise old 26 years old. Now, I myself had never gotten into Marcus King, and I'll give you a little background of how I did. I have heard a couple of cuts by him that had showed up on my Apple Music or what have you. Um, I didn't really get into him. I don't know why. I don't know why. It was just something that either flew under my radar or didn't really click with me at the time. Sometimes music finds you when you need it, right? So last September 2021, I went and saw Eric Clapton in Nashville, and for the encore, out walks Mr. King and just smokes. And I had done a review previously of an album by an artist named Maggie Rose, and I noticed on Instagram there was a connection. They're homies, friends, whatever. Um, but he come out, Clapton let him grace his stage, which to me is a tremendous honor um, for Eric Clapton to open up his stage to someone who is unknown, unknown to me, unknown to some circles. And this cat brought his guitar out, and he just spoke, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you. Um, One of my homeboys that was with me, we both were very impressed. It was just a one song, one solo, and Marcus King just threw down. So um, that's how I got into it. So I decided, hey, I'm going to get into this and see what's cracking. So here we go. Youngblood, like I said, released August 2022. It is 11 songs, 43 minutes. Now, let's talk gear for just a minute. Most of the stuff that I've seen this cat do, he is playing a Gibson 335. Now, he does have a Gibson Marcus King 1962 ES 345, smaller body, a little narrower, which is cool. I have not had the chance to play one. I have not seen one except for on the internet, which is what I'm looking at now. Um, I'll post a picture of it so you guys can see it. Um, it's very cool, and I'm very jealous that the cat has a Gibson signature model. I have always wanted a really nice 335 or similar hollow body. Um, as you can tell, I love Gibsons. I've got an SG that I toted around the South when I was playing in a band, and they make fine instruments. Um, one of these days, I'm going to have a high-end 335 or Les Paul. So, Marcus King, 1962 ES345. If you've had a chance to play one, comment below. I'm sure the neck is probably thin on it. Pickup wise, it's probably got the burst buckers in it, but I'm sure Marcus um, tuned it to his liking. It says a custom bucker. He probably did tune the burst buckers to his liking, or maybe 57 classics and started from there and then tuned it from there, which is cool. Um, that's what a signature model is for. You get to design, what you're going to go on, and people that get to play it, they think it's cool, so they pick up one. Gear wise on this album, I haven't had a chance to see this cat live. Clapton show, from where I was sitting, I think he plugged into some sort of Fender. Um, Sounded like maybe he had a little uh, dirt going, maybe a little TS, like a 808 tube screamer, kind of. On this album, I can tell there's a fuzz, some sort of overdrive. I think I heard a wah. I've listened to this album two or three times. I know I've heard a fuzz, but I'm not sure what type it is. If you've seen him or have knowledge of his pedal board, please let me know. I just haven't found a lot of info out there about what the cat uses pedal board wise. Now, amplifiers, he does have, let's see, uh, I'm looking his pedal board up just because I was curious. So the one photo, it looks like a volume, a wah. He's got a bunch of full tone gear, which is cool. Full tone's closing. I'm going to do a video about that. It looks like I see an 808 on one board. So he may have progressed through boards. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you know, comment below. Amplifier wise, the cat just uh, unveiled a new orange amp, and it is the Marcus King Ultra guitar amplifier, 30 watts. And I'm so glad that the guy did a 30 watt. It's cool. If you don't know what orange is, you're behind. Orange is a British made amplifier. They have been around forever. They're this crazy orange color. It's not my thing. It's kind of Tennessee Vols orange. If you know me, that is not my thing. But I had an orange Rocker 30 for a very short period of time that I regret to this day selling. Um, this is a 30 watt single channel. It looks to be, yeah, little bass, little presence, and a volume. So, dude knows what he's doing tone wise, because the tones on this album is ridiculous. And based off of that, he's not polluting his tone with a bunch of treble bass, mids, knobby knobs, all that. He's getting probably pushing the amp because it's 30 watt. He can do that. It's got a lot of headroom and is using whatever boost it is. Um, like I said, 808. Uh, if he looks like he's a big full tone guy, I don't know. Some people fell out with full tone. I don't know if he still is. So it may have been like a Prim Soul or an OCD or a Catalyst or something. And then Fuzz. Who knows? If he's in Dan Arback's studio, I could probably put smackers down that he used some kind of badass vintage fuzz. And Dan Arback is just crazy, crazy, crazy gearhead. So it's hard to say exactly what he used on this album. If he used the orange, which he's endorsed by him, I'm sure he's toting them around the country. He's on tour now. He could get the tones that's on the album out of this orange. So he may have used it. But I also hear some good cleans. Dan Arback, I know, is a Fender clean guy. but he also uses the older Marshalls, the master volume Marshalls. Um, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. If you know, comment below. Uh, Feel free to chime in, ladies and gents. That's what we do here. So on to my top three that I always do. Let me hit the old purple cup. Uh, my top three on this album. This was tough. Now, one thing I'm going to say that I respect about this cat so far, listening to his music, is we all pay homage to somebody when we play guitar. Unless you are Eddie Van Halen, Dwayne Allman, B.B. King, uh, Tom Morello, uh, Dickie Betts, those guys. Those are originators, Django Reinhardt. If you don't know any of the names I just mentioned, unsubscribe, move along. It's not for you. But one thing that I can say that I thought that was cool that Marcus King has done is he has tipped his hat to a lot of his, what I think are his influences. This album, if you're into that good rock, you're going to get something for you. Like I hear a real heavy Mountain influence, Leslie West from Mountain. I hear CCR. I hear Free, which Free, the guitar player in Free, Paul Christoph, is a underrated, unappreciated guitar player. If you listen to Leonard Skinner or anything like that, Gary Rosden was a huge Paul Christoph fan, and you owe yourself Bad Company, what Paul Rogers was influenced because he was in Free. Some people just don't know their family trees, right? And that's why I always say it's important to know where you come from, where you came from, what you listen to. But Mountain, Free, Cream, CCR, I hear Hendrix, obviously, and then the guy can play Stone Cold Blues like it's nobody's business. So to pick the top three off this was tough, but what I really appreciated through my 40-minute journey that Mr. King was taking us on was that he tipped his hat to our forefathers in rock, but did not overbearingly just rip them off. And like I said, there are very few people who are originators that don't sound like anybody. They just sound like themselves. Hendrix, Van Halen, um, those guys, their influences are vast and wide, but they created a style of their own. Guys like Clapton, all that, got their stuff from the blues, this and that and the other. But there's very few super duper originators out there left, and it's cool to hear people acknowledge where they got it and not just, oh, I play how I play because that's how I play. And I started this. We're all advancing music forward. Anyways, I get off my guitar player's soapbox that I like to get on every now and then. And here we go. Top three songs on the album. My first one is going to be Blood on the Tracks. Blood on the Tracks is the sixth song on the album and runs 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Now, initially, when I heard this, the first thing that pops in my head is dude went out and got John Fogerty to play rhythm on this. This is CCR to me, written all over, and Creedence Clearwater Revival. And if not, if you don't hear that, I don't know. That's just me. But I really did feel like that Cat called up John Fogerty and was like, "Hey, teach me how to play that San Francisco swamp blues thing that you did," and it's cool. So, Blood on the Tracks is my number three song. 3 minutes 59 seconds. So there you go. My number two song on the album is the number eight song, and it's called Aim High. It's 5 minutes, 14 seconds. And this to me just screams mountain. Like Leslie West all over this with Marcus's own flavor. But you don't hear people talk about mountain anymore. And I think it's cool. He may not be in that vibe to y'all, or he might have not have been in that headspace when he made this. But I just get that. There's a couple of other tracks that I get that mountain vibe off of it. But this one just kicks. Vocal delivery, rhythm, timing. Even the drummer's got some of that Corky Lane thing going on from Mountain. So I dig it. I really, really like this one. So my number two cut off this album, if I was going to hand it to you, take the start here, is called Aim High. Now my number one song. This was tough. Um, it was really tough. Um, just to get into this, and all the influences that he has obviously are similar to what I have. And the cat can just flat out jam, ladies and gents. I'm not going to sit here and say that he can't play. Um, I noticed that he studied some guitar at in college and things like that. That's some serious picking, and this guy is a serious picker. And like I said in the intro of the video, for Eric Clapton to give you a corner of his carpet, yeah, you can jam. That's a guitar player's dream come true. Um, I would love to step on stage. I'd love to step on stage with this cat. He'd probably smoke my doors off, but I'd give it my best shot. So there you go. My number one song, Dark Cloud. This screams like Free, Mountain, but to me, rhythmically, this is the jam. I know that it's not like the lead off single or whatever, but it's just my personal take. I try not to go with the single stuff, but Dark Cloud, number 9 song on the album, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, and it just kicks. The use of the cowbell, the kick drum, Marcus's vocal delivery, the cadence of the vocal, the guitar intertwined with the cowbell, the kick, the timing. It, it, it's a fun song. It's a crank me up, windows down, uh, killing the twisties kind of song. So there you go. That's my number one song. Dark Cloud, the number 9 song, 3 minutes, 45 seconds. So overall, how do I feel about this album? On my jam scale of 1 to 5 jams, 1 being don't listen, 5 being you need to tattoo this into your heart, I give it like a 3.5. And here's why. Um, it's really well produced. Um, the guy can play. Uh, I would, as much as I talked about his influences, the album does get in the beginnings of it that punch in the face rock, ZZ Top kind of thing is there. I just think that I would have probably put the tracks in a different order. I would have liked to have heard him do something slower. Like I don't really know how to say that, but maybe like a Tuesday's Gone kind of thing, where Simple Man kind of thing. It's on here. It's just I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just now getting into this cat. Um, he's got another previous album that I got to dig into. Um, but for this one, 3.5 jams, great album. You will enjoy it. I'm telling you, you will enjoy it, and you'll be a fan. And the guy is on the road. You can go support him, buy the T-shirts, do the whole thing, right? Because if we don't, then they stop, and when they stop, the world goes silent, and that's really not. So there you go, Marcus King, Youngblood, crank it, love it, check it out. Um, Remember, be safe out there, be kind to one another, like, subscribe, comment, do the thing, tell your friends, and remember that music is love, and love is music. Until next time, good people, play it loud.